Your vibration is the most creative thing that you have. Okay. So the most creative tool that you have is your vibration. And that's because we live in a vibrational universe. We live in a sea of energy more than anything else. So what happens is we want to manifest things, right? Macklemore wants to manifest a record career. Some people want to have a great marriage. Some people want to call in $10 million. Some people want to build this beautiful home or whatever it is. And often we sort of launch into the world this vibration, which is like, I want to see I want to be on Broadway, right? Like the Muppets. We're going to be on Broadway together again. Da, 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 da. No, so sometimes we have these desires. Well, I like that Melissa can laugh at me. It's good. She gets it. Um, so we have these desires, but at the same time, we usually don't have these desires in the purest form, because as we put that into the world vibrationally, like, God, I really want this, we also put in the world our resistance. Oh man, but I just don't feel worthy of it. Or, you know what? I don't see that. That doesn't feel practical to me. Or, you know what? I really highly doubt that that's going to happen because things don't work out for me. Ooh. So now we have put into the world the vibration of like, this is this thing I want, and these are the reasons that it's not coming. Right. So if you only knew that when you have a pure desire and the resistance is not in your way, oh my gosh, that's like having the equivalent of like an atom bomb of energy that goes off into the world. And when you split your energy because you put in the world this thing that you want, but at the same time, you're really showing up in your world with a tremendous amount of resistance, you're splitting, you're dividing your energy between, this is what I'd love, but here's most of what I think about, which is all the things I don't want and all the reasons I can't have it. And then it gets kind of heavy, and it really actually takes away from how you feel. And for sure, it has an effect on what you do. Right. So very often think about like planting bamboo or planting stalks of corn. If you were super clear and excited about having like a harvest of corn, right? So you would plant those seeds, and you know that it's as good as done. Like you laid the crops, right? And you know, as soon as you lay those seeds, you know, because you know it, you can see it, you know that it's germinating already, and it's as good as like, okay, so 3 months from now, this is when I'm going to take everything to harvest. Or I could count based on how many, I don't even know what it's called. What is it called when you plant things? How many crops, how many plots, how many lines, how many rows? Okay, let's use the word rows. I could then determine based on how many rows of seeds I plant, I could even say like, okay, so I know I can make, $1,000 per row. Okay. So I planted 10, that's 10 grand. That's like a given, that's done. Okay. So what we do though, is we don't want to do it because we'll only believe it when we see it. So we don't plant the seed because the seed is like, as soon as I plant the seed, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to walk away. I don't even know if I'm actually going to water it. I don't even know if I'm going to show up for it because I really can't see that end. Right. But in order to plant the seeds and get excited and make the crops really beautiful, you have to be able to see it before you see it. Do you guys get that? You have to be able to see it before you see it. So seeing is not believing. It's the other way around. You have to be able to see it. And I've had that in so many ways, but one of the ways was in my fertility journey, because they came out and told me like, you're not going to have kids, and here's all the data. And then I went to another doctor and I was like, you can't be serious. And they were like, actually we are. And here's all the reasons why. And I was like, but I could really just see it. I could just see these kids. And I just knew that like, this was going to be a thing. And so I just took all of these different steps, but not because I was nuts, because I could see it. So therefore I took the steps because I knew that it was there and I just had to show up and do the steps. So I wound up doing everything from Clomid to IUI to IVF to follow stim injections to Gonal F. I became best friends with the 3 different pharmacies. And I just went down that path of like, yeah, so this is what's happening. And it just didn't slow me down. Like there were miscarriages and there were things that I was like, but I still see it. So just going to head on down, ease on down the road because I just could see it. So that really helped me. It really, really helped me to stay in that process. And I love that story, actually, that particular story, because I've told that to other women when they're struggling. And as a result of that story, one person in particular who just finally got pregnant after like 7 years of trying said to me, I only went back and swung again after that IVF failed attempt again because your story, where you were like, you just kept going. Now, so that's something that I think we can all develop, that, right? That ability to see, and then to shoot those rockets of desire that don't have resistance.